Hi, I'm Hugh Hunt from the Centre for Climate Repair in Cambridge. And with me, I've got Johann Hoschtialek from Grenada, who tells me it's a beautiful Caribbean island. I feel as if I've done quite a lot of work with Arctic youth, trying to engage them with issues of climate change and the melting of Arctic ice. But boy, I listened to what Johann's been doing with Caribbean youth. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, first of all, hi guys. We have a global youth initiative, which actually started initially like father and daughter, to bring youth activists from all the different countries of the world, from the 195 countries of the world, to come together, to go to New York, well, start off in New York by the United Nations, to travel to 195 countries of the world within 365 days, to bring awareness, education and mobilization of youth all around the world to say, let's change the planet together, and then going around in a year, engaging with youth everywhere, showcasing what's happening in each country, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's wrong. Education.
Is it just climate or also
no, it's
environmental? It's
everything.
Biodiversity.
It's addressing the SDGs. Right. Permit me if I could say this. I humbly believe climate change is a symptom and not the cause. The cause is humanity's lost its way. We've forgotten what it is to be our neighbor's keeper and the custodians of the planet. Yeah. And if we want to change it, we have to address all the SDGs. Yeah. Because if somebody gives a man who's broke $100, he's not going to buy a solar panel. He's going to feed his family. So unless we holistically look at that, and that's what it's about. In other words, showcasing what the challenges are, how can we come together to fix it, especially with universities and all of that, getting the education system involved, because we need to get the smart minds out there, and then creating like mini COPs everywhere we go, engaging with youth everywhere and saying, let's change the planet together.
So some of the youth voices I've been hearing have recognized that on the climate front, emissions reductions alone are not sufficient.
Correct.
And that negative emissions, carbon capture and storage, likewise, not sufficient. And so in our Centre for Climate Repair, we've been looking at geo-engineering. How do we buy us a bit of time so that we can preserve Arctic ice, so that we can prevent the ravages of sea level rise, and so that maybe in 50 years' time, 100 years' time, we've got more to work with. I don't know whether what your thoughts are on any of this.
Do I believe in geoengineering? I'm not sure. I mean, because it's not been totally tested sometimes, I am a little bit fearful. But that said, we have to work really, really hard before we come to a point where that may be our only alternative. And that I pray we can stop. That's why action is needed now. I mean, really, really now.
Well, can I say, I agree with you entirely, but let's suppose, heaven forbid, we do come to that point. I would like to think that we have a technology that has been researched sufficiently so that we are confident that it will be safe. So how do you feel about geoengineering research?
Absolutely. I am all for it. I'm for everything. In other words, we got to put everything possible on the table. We may have to look at all of these alternatives simply because of the direction the world is headed in. And too many people still have their heads in the sand, and they think that because it hasn't affected me yet, even though now it's affected almost everybody in the world, it's either it hasn't affected me or a sense of hopelessness, that people have reached a point where, they just put up their arms and just say, I don't care anymore,
So 365 days?
Yes.
195 countries?
195 countries.
And it started?
Nope. We're preparing for next year. We've been now here at COP, meeting with ministers of governments, multilateral organizations, and getting all the buy-in from all parties to say, let's do this, let's get the parties on board.
Absolutely fantastic. Really great to meet you.
Pleasure is definitely mine. Let's change the world together.